Welcome into this edition, BlueSky Live. Here with this morning, Parham and Neal McCready. He's in the Clark Ford studio. We'll get to that in 1 second. Pretty fruitful media availability yesterday for the Rebels. Pete Golding, Trinidad Chambliss, Kewan, Lacy, William Eccles, TJ Doddery, and a lot of content up at Rebels 24/7 as we're still counting down the days to Saturday, Ole Miss and Tulane, 2:30 from Vaught Hemingway Stadium. Rematch from earlier this season, a 45-10 win for Ole Miss. John Sumrall talked about that a lot yesterday. That story up at Rebels 24/7 this morning as well. So again, head on over, subscribe, join the conversation. We would appreciate that as always. The largest Ole Miss fan site community for your participation. But we appreciate you being here this morning on a show brought to you every day by Blue Sky locations off in the state of Mississippi, up and down I-55 that are out north Mississippi as well, taking care of you. Everything from catering to lunch specials. They got you handled on your travels through Mississippi, including maybe in town this weekend in Oxford. Again, the Oxford Exxon, and Neil is in the Clark Ford studio.
I am. Clark Ford's in Amory, Amory, Mississippi, 662-257-1900. Call that number. Ask for Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you are looking for. He will send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours. Right to the bottom line. No hassle, no haggle. You get your quote. The rest is up to you. You can shop that quote around. You can do what I've done, what I recommend that you do. Let's hop into a Clark Ford today. Corey and the people at Clark Ford, they want to be your car guy. They want to be your truck guy. They'll prove to you what that means when you make the call. 662-257-1900. Guest will join this week on the Campbell Clinic hotline. From fractures and sports injuries to complex spine and limb conditions, the pediatric orthopedic physicians at Campbell Clinic in Oxford are the only specialized pediatric orthopedic team in North Mississippi providing expert care for growing bodies. Visit CampbellClinicOxford.com to schedule an appointment or call 901-759-3111.
A lot to get to today. I'm not even really sure where to start as we were talking. I do suggest, it gives you more of a picture a lot of times, but watching Pete Golding's press conference yesterday, because every answer kind of gave something. Neil and I have been increasingly impressed with his media availabilities to date so far over the last couple of weeks, and I'm seeing things mentioned in the stream that were not even 5 or 10 of the things that I took the most from yesterday. Like, he did admit, which I guess it's because I knew that this was going to happen, but he is going to be on the field on Saturday. The head coach is not going to be in the box. That's odd logic. But he did say that he thought actually being on the field was easier, which I found interesting, because you wonder sometimes, then why are you in the box? And I know it's to see the whole field. I get the positives, but he did mention that in a lot of ways being on the field is an easier overall experience there when you're calling defenses and coaching. So there's just one little nugget, if you will, from yesterday.
Did he answer this? Was he in the box this year because Lane wanted him in the box, or was he in the box because he wanted to be in the box?
He did not answer that question. He just said, I was previously on the field here when I called plays.
Yeah, I kind of have a system. A little bit.
Got a thought? Okay. I'll tell you one thing here.
I can prove it, so there's no point in saying it. I have no way to prove it. And if I'm wrong, I'll hear about it. So,
just a quick little thing we tell you every time. Got the Venmo thing there, not asking for anything, but if you want to do that in lieu of a super chat, it just keeps money from going like to India or somewhere. So appreciate it. I will read it. Put Venmo in all caps in the comment, and I'll take care of you that way to make sure you are noticed and recognized for doing so. So I appreciate that. I tell you what was nice, and look, I want this in context, because I don't want to be the guy that acts like I'm just bashing Lane because he's gone. Because Lane Kiffin, from a content standpoint, from a press conference standpoint, gave us a lot of great answers, gave us plenty of damn content. This is not a negative Lane Kiffin comment that I'm about to say. It's not. So I want to make that very clear, that I've noticed around the internet a little bit that everybody's like, everything Lane said was stupid. No, Lane was very good in press settings. Like, he was fantastic, especially big picture stuff. And he has been a gold mine for content in every way. I'm very appreciative of Lane Kiffin as a content producer, and from a standpoint of covering him these last 6 years. So put that in ink. I mean that when I'm about to say this. I tell you what has been nice though, following Pete and John is just such straightforwardness this week. Like I said, I just was listening to John Summerall's press conference this morning. That's up at Rebels 24/7. We'll get into some of his answers maybe tomorrow. I don't know. May not get to all that today. But with Pete, like you said, what he meant is not necessary. It is very straightforward. It's detailed. He gives depth to his answers in ways that we are not necessarily used to. And I guess here's the big difference. Pete is fine doing the football minutia depth that Lane hates and despises and never wants to get into. And Pete is very much into at times explaining his systems and why he does certain things as far as creating the program. And I found that enlightening. I think it's educated me in some ways, and also just simply has been fun to sort of cover the last couple of weeks. So I give Pete a lot of credit for that, and then whoever's kind of helping him out, dude looked sharp yesterday. Took the pictures with the sport coat, as Neal mentioned, just us talking on the phone yesterday. Pete didn't need a tie and a pocket square. Make it business casual, but not stuffy. Haircut's looking good. He does. He looks like the CEO of an SEC program compared to a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. I mean, he's been remarkably good at media. Mm-hmm. And I'll double what you said about Lane because I agree with you completely. There's a lot of revisionist history on Kiffin that's unfair. There are plenty of things that are worthy of criticism. At least with this media outlet, I've said this before. I will say it again. I will consistently say it. Lane Kiffin was always fair. He treated us equally. I always felt like I was treated with respect. To the end, including late interactions that were not super amicable. I felt like I was being treated fairly. Mm-hmm. I could not say that about Houston Nutt. I could not say that about Hugh Freeze. I could about Matt. Matt never had a chance. There's one of these days someone will put that whole chapter into proper context because Matt gets unfairly treated, in my opinion. But Nutt was unfair. Freeze was unfair. Both played favorites. Both were super sensitive to a point of it being ridiculous. And Lane was never that way. So I have to give credit there for 6 years. And I couldn't co-sign your statements about being great for content and business more than I could about what you said about Lane. That said, I think Pete's gotten this reputation over the years that he has dismissed in basically 2 weeks. That, hey, he's this rough character, completely unpolished. You couldn't put him in as the face of a program, et cetera, et cetera. Nope. All wrong.
Dude's really smart.
He's very smart. He obviously is very coachable. Most coaches aren't coachable. He's very coachable. They've not just cleaned him up, but like he's been far more polished as a speaker. I think he's very comfortable in that room. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I had any expectations. I'm pretty good about going into something with an open mind. But that being said, I think he has exceeded what I expected from him so far. And he's put together a pretty good staff. He's done a really good job balancing a lot of awkward things. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. I'm sure we'll touch on it in a minute. There's a lot of stuff going on around the program, inside the program that would be awkward for a lot of people. And he seems to just basically kind of roll with it. Like, hey, these are the way these things are. Individual people have individual decisions, and we'll make those decisions when the time comes. But right now we're focused on this. And then when this is done, we'll turn to this, and then we'll go to this. And that's he said this yesterday, and you and I were having this conversation, so I'm not going to – I'm about to take credit for it. You're the one that said it. It's almost like someone said to him, though, hey, remind people that You worked for the best coach in the history of the game for more than half a decade during some heady years in Tuscaloosa. You've been around a lot of really good coaches. You've been inside arguably the best organization in all of college sports. You may have taken some notes, and you may have an idea of what to do and how you're going to do things. And this might not be as much, you might not be swimming anywhere near as much as people thought you'd be swimming. Because I think a lot of people thought, hey, we throw this guy in the deep end, man, he's just going to be thrashing in the water. And instead, he just kind of swam to the part of the water where he was comfortable, and he's good.
I thought that was a very notable thing yesterday, and I don't have the direct quote in front of me. I have not seen an overall transcript of Pete's press conference, but he was talking about somebody asked him, "Hey, how do you go about finding offensive assistants? Obviously, you know so many people on the defensive side, but on the offensive side, what do you do?" And Pete did it completely professionally, but he wanted to make his point clear. The comment was something regarding, "Hey, I did spend 5.5 years with Nick Saban in the Alabama building, and last time I checked, a lot of good people come through there." And it was very much a, "Hey, I didn't just get off the damn turnip truck yesterday. Like I was in Tuscaloosa for a long time. I've been in the SEC for." It was defending himself in a very proper way that I respected and thought that it was, from a media standpoint, a perfect note because it wasn't defensive. It was just clearly putting your credentials out there and saying, "No, I know people. I either know them directly or I know a lot of good people that have come through a lot of good buildings and they know people and we talk about it." And he pointed out that his interview process is extensive, that they do Zooms to talk about fit. And then you bring them in and you put them on the board and you put them around certain people. And, I think it's going to be one of his main messages. And either he will win or lose, and we'll see, and it will prove it prophetic and awesome, or it won't matter because that's how scoreboards work. But he has talked about something that I think even plays into this team a lot because we keep doing the, "Hey, why has this team been able to persevere and not get distracted by this and that and this and whatever?" And he mentioned that there is a difference now with the money situation of finding somebody. 10 years ago, players had to, quote, act right to get the money, and they had to put what football could do for them. And he said now the money's already there, so you have to be so good at picking the right people who are mature enough to handle the money and still handle their business. I mean, he had the line everybody's talking about that was really funny. He said, "Hey, shit, they're living by me in the country club right now." I mean, it was funny. It was good. It was a good line, but it goes much deeper than that. It's that they're not getting distracted by all the crap, and if you have possibilities for distraction and all the money, it does take a pretty mature response to stay locked in as an 18 to 23-year-old. And for the most part, Ole Miss has really done that this season. I think it's an underrated part of their roster. And he mentions that from a staff and a player perspective for what has to happen moving forward with next season and beyond. I think it's another example of just where the messaging is working and resonating, and there's just a lot of truth to it at this point. So just what I took from it yesterday.
Yeah, the other thing about Golding that he probably doesn't get enough, probably because we don't talk about it enough. Think about all those years he was at Alabama and how many people they put in the NFL off the defensive side of the ball. He took all NFL guys. I mean, I know I'm not talking down to people, but to say that the NFL draft process is meticulous is an understatement to the point of they overthink it. I promise you, every NFL team that drafted one of his players talked to him extensively. And those kinds of talks build relationships. They come to Tuscaloosa for pro day. They come to Oxford for pro day. I mean, he had Walter Nolan go in the first round last year. He had Trey Amos go in the second. Princely went third, I think. I don't know.
Second or third, yeah, I don't remember.
Had multiple players. All those teams came to Oxford. They all sat down in his office. At some point, they talked beyond. The Arizona Cardinals didn't just talk Walter Nolan. At some point, they probably talked schematics and ideas and things because that's what coaches kind of do. His Rolodex is probably a lot deeper than anyone gives it credit for.
John was being a little more general, probably, because look, there's plenty of defensive bust as head coach. But I thought John had an interesting quote. I don't know if you saw it from
I
yesterday
didn't.
or not. So he had a lot of good stuff. Like I said, I could spend the whole half the podcast on some Rawls press conference yesterday, but we have more news than to do that because we need to talk about Chambliss and Lacy and Austin Thomas in a minute. But he was talking about Golding, and somebody said, "Hey, you guys mentioned that y'all talked last week or during the process or whatever." And John made a joke. He goes, "No, actually, Golding FaceTimed me this morning talking about yesterday." He said, "I answered the phone and went, 'Do you work? Because I've got two jobs. Like, what are you doing?'" And he said they talked for a few minutes. And but then he went on to give this quote. He goes, "I'm never going to hit the end button because I like talking to him. I'm happy for him. He's a great guy, does things the right way. He's authentic, which sees what you get. He also cusses more than me, which is hard to find. He makes me feel good about my tone. Defensive guys aren't sexy. People want sexy offensive play callers. To get a head job, I had to work my way up. For him to get an SEC job is unique and rare, and we're not the flashiest hires. But you find substance and toughness and edge and relatability, and I think we're wired similarly." The end of that, I do think if Summerall and Golding are successful at this level, that's going to be sort of the secret sauce that makes it happen. Is you're not getting the pomp and all the points and stuff, but you might just get a better run program in some ways. And I think that's what you're hoping for in these contexts.
Saban was a defensive coach.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, look, you articulated it incredibly well. At the end of the day, we'll find out. I mean, I'm not going to change what I said yesterday, which is the people that are like, he is going to be Vince Lombardi. Come on. You can't go there yet. And the same people that, there's people on the outside. It's not really Ole Miss people anymore. It's on the outside. They're like, oh, come on. You. What a fall off from. You don't know that. Might be right. Might be wrong. There's literally no evidence yet of any sort. I mean, they haven't even sat the jury in this case. You're nowhere close to the verdict. We haven't even had opening statements yet. I mean, you just don't know. It's one of the mailbag questions I have is, if you were an Ole Miss fan, would you be excited or unexcited? My answer is I don't think excited's the word. I think if I were an Ole Miss fan, I would be optimistic. Wouldn't be over the top. Hadn't seen him put a class together yet. Hasn't gone through a portal period yet. Hadn't coached a game yet. Don't know how the offense will look different. If it will look different at all. Don't know. Those are things that you literally cannot answer. And I know that doesn't make great media in today's media environment of having somebody on the box yelling and screaming at you about what something means. The sample size isn't there yet. And after Saturday, the sample size is still going to be really small. It's going to be one game, one really big game, but one game. And so this is going to be it's going to be a minute before you get those answers. But I can tell you that in 2 weeks, my thoughts have gone from, they actually hired him to, wow, this might work. And I can tell you that I've covered people before when 2 weeks in, I was like, this isn't going to work. Can't say it out loud because that just doesn't, A, it's not fair. B, it's horrible business.
But you go, whoa.
But it's not like Phil Longo. First press conference, this isn't going to work. Very early in Matt's tenure when he couldn't loosen up, this isn't going to work. He's got too much working against him. He's got to let that guard down, and he couldn't do it. You're like, this isn't going to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like the first time you talked to Chris Beard about basketball. You're like, dude, this guy's sharp. And Chris is going through a transition right now, in my opinion. They all are. I mean, the game has changed. To Pete's point about the players already have the money. Now the players have the money. You don't, and you can't take it from them. So you have to find you have to find people who are more self-motivated, who are more process-oriented, who are more driven, who are more goal-oriented. Because if it's just, hey, man, because back in the day, yeah, I know guys got some money under the – it's like the most unfair criticism of the Alabama program back in the day. Yeah, did guys get a Dodge Charger and some money? Sure. But that's not that's not what motivated them. They're really good players that were there. They were motivated by success and the big payday down the road. Because they weren't getting NFL first round money from Alabama boosters. I'm going to tell you that right now.
No, the money was so different. Yeah.
The money was down the road. You were working for the money. And now, I mean, guys are making 7 figures in college. It's a different world.
For that era, yeah, the best marketing campaign ever was the whole Built by Bama thing. It was NFL based. It was the whole deal under Saban and what that looked like. So,
and it was incredibly effective. It worked. And guys came in there, and Pete was part of that, a big part of that. Guys came in there, and you learned a system, and you worked. Pete talked about it in a press conference the other day about here's what you did in year 1, and then in year 2, and then by year 3, you were learning the other side of the ball. And then you were ready for the NFL. They had guys that they were getting you ready in a 3-year span so that when the NFL came and put you on the grease board or whatever, you excelled.
Yeah. From the stream real quick, and we'll come back and continue this conversation. There's a ton of smoke right now about Frank Wilson being the next running backs coach. Nothing can happen until after LSU's bowl game. They're in the Texas Bowl against Houston on the 27th, 29th, something like that. And that has to play out. He is their head coach right now from an interim standpoint. So, but yes, it's the only name that really is popping at all at the moment. So we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at a point where I will be surprised if it doesn't happen. But when people go, is it done? No, I don't think it's done.
No.
I mean, I think he wants to coach his team because this is his team. It's a team full of players that for the most part he recruited. He's been coaching these guys since Kelly got fired at the end of October. He's asked a lot of them. It's not been the season that those kids expected to have at LSU. A lot of those kids will be getting in the portal and leaving, and I'm sure he feels like if he were to leave them before they finish the job, that would be abandoning them, something he doesn't want to do. Those are his players. He's a Louisiana guy. Those are his guys right now. That's his team. And I'm sure he wants to finish the job. They've played hard for him. I mean, they had, close games against Arkansas and Oklahoma, and I think they've won a couple under him. They played really hard at Oklahoma and damn near knocked the Sooners out of the playoffs. So I'm sure that part of the message is, hey, let's finish this the right way. And the right way is you wait and address your future when that game's done. Mm-hmm. And yes, I absolutely know how ironic all of those things are given where he is. But it doesn't change his personal character.
No, it doesn't at all. No. Frank's been around a long time. All right, do you struggle with procrastinating? And then when you put off doing something that could save you a ton, I used to be a huge procrastinator until I heard about Mint Mobile's best deal of the year. It's ending soon. 50% off all unlimited premium wireless for new customers. Stop overspending with big wireless and cut your bill to $15 a month when you switch. All Mint Mobile plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network. You can use your current phone number on any Mint Mobile plan and bring along all your existing contacts. Don't miss out on 3 months of unlimited premium wireless from Mint Mobile for $15 a month. Quit stalling and start saving when you make the switch. Shop plans at mintmobile.com/MPW. That's mintmobile.com/MPW. Upfront payment $45 required, equivalent to $15 a month. Limited time new customer offer for first 3 months only.
We're brought to you by Comer Heating and Air. Southern Air Conditioning and Heating, different names, same great people, products, and services. If you live in Oxford, Batesville, Tupelo, the surrounding area, call Comer 662-801-1777. If you live in Hernando, South Haven, Memphis, those areas, call Southern 662-429-4429. Oxford locals, Ole Miss families. If you need dry cleaning or laundry done right, Lapel's Dry Cleaning has you covered. Proudly serving the Oxford community since 2016, Lapels takes care of everything from suits and formal dresses to comforters and everyday laundry. Even better, they offer free pickup and delivery to make life easier. Just call 662-638-3149 to be added to their pickup and delivery route, or visit them at 3010 Old Taylor Road, right across from the Mark Condominiums. Mention Rebels 24/7 or MPW Digital. Get 50% off your first order. Trust Lapels to keep you looking your best. We're presented by ENT Physicians of North Mississippi. As the largest private ENT practice in the state, their goal is simple: delivering fast, expert, comprehensive care for patients of all ages with ENT, allergy, sinus, dizziness, balance, and voice-related needs. With same-day or next-day appointments with ENT urgent care for that annoying cough or sore throat, in-office CT scans, and same-day allergy testing, and access to their comprehensive audiology team, offering a full range of services from hearing aids and custom hearing protection to potential surgical options, ENT Physicians of North Mississippi are committed to removing barriers to care. They now have new locations in New Albany and Starkville, in addition to Tupelo, Corinth, and more. Get more details at entnorthmississippi.com or call 662-844-6513. Are you retiring soon? How long should you wait to take Social Security? What accounts should you pull from first? Are you already retired? Should you consider Roth conversions? These are just some of the questions that can only be answered with the personalized retirement income plan. Andrew Seago with Seago Wealth Management specializes in helping folks just like you come up with their retirement game plan. Whether you meet at his office in Collierville or prefer Zoom from anywhere, schedule a free discovery meeting and see what he can do for you. It's rebelsretire.com.
Podcast also brought to you by Northeast Spark. Sorry, one second. I was reading something and kind of screwed up. Give me a second. Fastest, most reliable fiber internet option available. You think I just know it. Whether you're streaming the Rebels or connecting with family and friends, they offer both residential and business packages with speeds of 2 gigabits, up from previously 1 gigabit. So to learn more, register for service. That's nespark.com. NeSpark, get connected, stay local. And podcast brought to you by New Albany Pharmacy and Solutions, newalbanypharmacy.com, 140 Fairfield Drive, 662-539-7777. Family-owned pharmacy. Tons of gift options, including stocking stuffers, last-minute gift things, with Christmas just now 9 days away. And you get 15% off if you mention MPW Digital. So again, that is Fairfield Drive, or 662-539-7777. Quick thing here. Board's talking about it a lot. I saw Ole Miss opened up student tickets where now you can take somebody with you because they had not sold out. That was one of the big barriers, was that they're non-transferable, and it was creating some issues from students having extra people with them. So I see they have now, I think they're playing off ELP and calling it the buddy system. But you can, if you're a student listening, or just in general, if you're a parent, to tell your students or your kids, they are allowing a +1, if you will. So there is that on that. And look, everybody teeth gnashing. It's freaking 5 days before Christmas. It's not surprising they didn't sell 13,000 student tickets immediately. Like, stop, people, calm down. It's gonna be all right. Whatever they don't sell, they'll open up to the general public, and I promise they will sell them. It will be full. It will be full. Take a breath. It's gonna be okay. I know I'm speaking to message boarders right now, not the chat, but just saying.
I was told I was completely wrong about all the angry people, and I seemed to be told quite angrily that I was wrong about the angry people. So I'm gonna bow out.
Yeah, Lob always said the buddy system is from heavyweights, not elf. Well, they used a picture of Buddy the elf on the graphic that I saw earlier. Carly Ann turned that on for a minute last night, and for whatever reason, that's just not my speed. It's not one of my favorite Christmas movies. I can't
Elf.
quite get behind that one. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
I think I'm in the minority, but
no, I'm with you. I like the Santa Claus much more than Elf. If I'm going to watch
do
a
you
silly
really?
one, watch that one. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you see that I
Yep.
put on the message board this morning that Mariah and her "All I Want for Christmas" broke the record for most #1 weeks by a singles song.
Saw that you got jumped a little bit for your posting that.
Community. I post a lot of weird stuff. It is what it is.
People got a little testy with you.
Yeah.
It's such a bad song that 8 gazillion people have downloaded it.
What's the Yogi Berra thing? Yeah, hate that play. Like, the place is too crowded. Nobody goes there.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Nobody goes there
exactly.
anymore. It's too crowded.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah. Sorry.
I mean,
Also, not an ad. We'd love for them to be because as much grief as we give people who go there, we love them. I saw in my email I was getting spam this morning that if you want St. Elmo's cocktail sauce before Christmas, it's like the last couple days to get that bad boy shipped to you.
oh,
They were spamming my email this morning, so
it is good stuff.
it's good stuff now. Nothing
It's
wrong with St. Elmo's in the cocktail sauce.
no, nothing wrong
Yeah.
with that at all.
James says, laugh out loud. Not wrong about the anger going on. Didn't see that the drinking numbers are way down. Everyone needs to chill out and have a Coors. We'll get there in a minute, I'm sure. So, uh, all right. Yesterday, we can talk about press conferences a lot, and still we'll continue to do that. But Austin Thomas in officially as GM. We had that yesterday afternoon. It's been coming and trending, but it being oh, Ginger says St. Moses at Kroger now. I didn't know that.
Oh,
So yeah, there you go. It was not unexpected. It was expected, but there was red tape going on because, as we mentioned, Lane had removed him from the football staff, but he still was a member of the athletics department staff. He was technically, where wasn't technically, he was an AD. So it took a minute, but he and Kelvin Bolden now both officially back in Oxford running recruiting at a high level, including Thomas there as the general manager. Walker Jones and Matt McLaughlin had been doing it in the interim basis until a GM is coming in. So Austin Thomas back in Oxford for his second tenure as general manager. Another good hire by Pete. Makes a lot of sense in a lot of ways. So he is here officially now, and we'll get to business. Really on a lot of retention. It's one thing I mentioned as I start moving on a little bit to play into and segue is somebody asked Pete yesterday, what is the staff for 2026, mainly John David Baker, doing in the building right now? Are they helping at all or whatever? And he said that their job is to get to know the players because job one is retention of said players for next season. And that when you have a guy like Baker, he can go ahead and meet with Trinidad Chambliss and offensive guys. And he said, first, assure them that continuity of system is going to happen, that you're still running the same thing that they were brought in to run, that there were very few changes there, and that it was just part of the process on making sure you have as many of your better players available next season and still on your roster as you can. And that is an easy way to dovetail into Trinidad Chambliss, Kewan, Lacy, both meeting with the media yesterday and had little different sentences. So let me pull it up real quick here as we're doing this. Kewan came in first and was asked for his reaction or his comment on the leaked cell phone video that came out last week of the call where Lane said that Kevin Smith, the running backs coach, and Kewan Lacy would be with him in Baton Rouge for next season. Obviously, Kevin Smith is Lacy's position coach, and Lacy yesterday was very glowing regarding that. He was asked first just sort of what's it been like with a new head coach. And his quote here, as I'm pulling it up, it's been pretty good because I still have my coach. So I've just been going day to day trying to focus on Tulane and our preparation. So, yeah, for the most part, everything's been the same. I'm trying to run for at least 2 more months, trying to go all the way to the national championship. Hopefully, he goes on to say about Kevin. Kevin's sorry, no, it's very beneficial having Kevin. I feel like we break down film, go over footwork and everything. Having that structure is important. Great teacher, so I feel like I learn a lot from him each day. There's never a day where I don't learn anything in that meeting room. And then when he was asked for his reaction to the leaked cell phone video, he said, I have it here. It was just a surprise. I've been keeping my mindset on trying to go 1-0 and focus on the run we're having right now so I don't get into all that. Neil, we were handling it for you yesterday. As you're reading these quotes, what's your reaction?
Well, Kevin Smith just made more money. Congratulations to him. I don't know how much he was going to make before yesterday, but yesterday added to his total.
It did, which
Um,
Golding previewed last week.
yeah. Um, You know, I guess my thoughts on this are this is modern college football. Every player is on a 1-year contract. Every player is a prospective free agent. And you're seeing it play out in real time here. You know, I mean, he says he's just focused on 1-0. Praises his coach. Says my coach is still here. Tells you where his loyalty is. That's not a knock at all. I don't think you can have a team full of transfers and then get mad that a transfer that you have, his loyalty is to a coach and not a school. My opinion. It's where the sport is today. It's why you said you and I were having a private conversation, and you said something that I'm not going to share it, but letting you know, so if you want to articulate it, you can. If you don't, it's fine. I think you're right. It's where fans have to decide how they view this new era. I mean, look at our message board today. There's talk about this, and then there's a whole thread about guys that have expressed their intention to get in the portal. And whether those guys will fit your program. Your guys can't be traders if the guys who are coming in aren't traders. It's just a totally, to me, the whole unlimited transfer thing is what threatens to wreck the fan experience the most.
Yeah.
But to this point, not only has it not wrecked it, ratings are up, attendance is up, interest is up. So people like me who keep thinking, man, this is probably the bridge too far, we keep repeatedly are proven wrong.
Oh, there was a quote on that in 1 second. I think, and Randall has a good point. I mean, it's where Ole Miss is just in a different situation a little bit, as he says, there are other playoff teams answering transfer questions. And it's like, no, not to this degree. Ole Miss is dealing with a really weird situation right now where you're dealing with all the main things that everybody's dealing with, and then your own screwed up microcosm of the deal at the same time. So, I mean, of course not.
Your coach left before the playoffs started and went to a rival school, and a video leak that was absolutely real of that coach saying that he's going to get that assistant coach and this player to his program. Is that what ultimately happens? We'll see. Are all of those things real? Yes. So of course those players get asked about it.
I was looking for a quote from, I think it was Bjork, or maybe it was Byrne. It was one or the other, and I don't know. It was somewhere, and I'm having a hard time. I should have did more prep. But it's to what you just mentioned. Is he said revenue's up, ratings are up, attendance is up at places that are winning, all these different things. And he said on the top and on the crust or whatever is what, whatever the situation was, everything looks awesome, and then it's rotten underneath. And we'll see what happens. But it was either Byrne or Bjork one, and I don't remember which one said that as I was reading quotes yesterday.
Yeah, I'm trying to do this where I don't come across as being critical. But Ole Miss played its final game in Starkville. And Mississippi State, now they were stressed that day. They had a basketball game that was starting literally hours after the football game ended, I think against SMU, if I recall correctly. So I'm sure there was a lot going on. It was the day after Thanksgiving. People have lives, or at least they should. But there was a checked outness to their program. I don't mean the football team. I mean the people around it that you don't typically see. And I remember on that Saturday, as we were waiting for the Iron Bowl to start and praying to God that Alabama would win, turning on some games around the country, rivalry games where the stadiums were empty. Oklahoma State, empty. Arkansas played Missouri. Just nightmarishly empty. That's what losing looks like. And did losing always look like that? I don't know. Maybe it did.
Well,
But I don't think it looked quite like that. I don't, and we live in this social media era where everyone takes those pictures and laughs and haha, and you're like, hey man, that could so easily be you one day.
it's the difference is you get there faster, and the barrier of what's considered winning and losing has changed because we've watched. Well, Mississippi State's a good example here, and again, not picking on them. We've watched them celebrate 5 and 7 bowl bids where they thought that was a positive for their program early in a coach's tenure. Hell, midway into a coach's tenure, the 20 whatever team it was that did it when they beat Ole Miss that time, 2009, what I don't know, whatever year. And instead, this is fairly a joke. Again, I'm not. I love him to death. I'm not making fun, but I mean, even in a lighthearted way, Brian Haydad sort of made fun of it yesterday on Sports Talk. I was listening to the end of their show, and they were discussing they're doing some remotes this week leading up to Ole Miss and Tulane, and then New Orleans, and kind of giving people the idea of what to expect the rest of the year. And he, just sort of in jest and goes, and then I'll be back, and we're going to preview the Mayo Bowl. And there was a sort of just joking, like, well, this really matters situation, and that's a huge fan. I mean, again, credit to him. I like Brian, but like it's this deal
Yep.
where it just is. It's just different. I mean, Luke says here, and been with us for a long time. Appreciate him. He says you'll find me becoming much more fair weather. If we start losing, I won't keep up with it like what's going on with basketball right now. I'll come back when we win. And him mentioning basketball is what's interesting because that's a 6-4 team that certainly has struggled in the non-league, but they were in the Sweet 16 last year. And not picking on you,
Yep.
Luke. I find your comment really interesting. So
Chase, I'm the only media person on the beat that was in Biloxi for an in-state game against Southern Miss. I'm not making fun of other media. They might be doing it right and I'm doing it wrong. The team went to the Sweet 16 last year. There was a tremendous amount of interest. But it's only if they win. I'm looking for our colleague Justin Hokanson had a quote yesterday that sort of struck me. He goes, here it is. He goes, the decline of bowl season sucks. And so for people that don't know, Justin Hokanson covers Auburn. Young guy, probably in the late 30s, I'd guess?
yeah,
Mid to late 30s?
sure.
Says, I grew up loving family bowl pick'em contest and spending winter break watching games all day. An 8-4 team winning a bowl game used to mean something. Now it feels like if you're not in the playoff, nothing else matters. It's sad. Now, you can have two reactions to that. You can go, oh, it's just an Auburn person being pissed off that Auburn's not good in this era. Or you can go, got a point. I mean, I'm with him. I grew up in an era when the bowls, it was cool to go to a bowl. I remember Louisiana Tech getting to go to the Independence Bowl, and it was like all of Ruston went. And we did. I think they played Maryland or something, and it was like this big deal to beat Maryland.
Did they?
Yeah, no, totally serious.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't exist. Now they play those games, they're just on TV, and there's not a damn soul in the stadium. The Citrus Bowl was not long ago a big deal. Now it's punishment.
Oh, I remember in 2009 the frustration from Ole Miss fans when they missed out on the Citrus Bowl because they lost to State that day, and it was twofold. It was losing the game, but then it was missing out on playing Penn State in the Citrus Bowl. They were headed back to the Cotton instead. Yeah, the Citrus Bowl was that level. I mean, and again, some of that's credit to where Ole Miss is right now because like it's 8-4 is seen as this. Oh God, what are you doing? And for the majority of my life, 8-4 would have been a very celebrated season. I mean, Ole Miss lost 3 games in the regular season, and again, I'm not making fun. I understood the era for what it was. Ole Miss lost 3 games in the regular season, and then put out a book and a video called "Return to Glory," Eli's senior year.
Yeah.
And again, I know they went 7-1 in the league. It was a really good SEC year, but you lost to Texas Tech and Memphis. So, I mean, again, just different. I mean, James says the Independence Bowl in '99 was the most fun Ole Miss game I'd ever had the chance to see. was a team that probably should have won 10 games in the regular season, ended up winning 7, 8, whatever it was with Mario and Deuce as seniors. No, 99, sorry, that was 2000. I don't know. Whatever they did in 99, they ended up in Independence Bowl. They beat Oklahoma 27-25, I believe, something like that. Our boy Craddock was the last person to hold a football in the millennium.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the end of that game on TV. I was in Tempe, Arizona.
Oh, really?
I did.
So I'm going to set up Chambliss now, his press conference from yesterday. Then we'll go to our next break. We'll come back. Yeah, as Ben says, Ole Miss has never been to the Citrus Bowl. Funnily enough, that is true. They have not. Trying to get to the third Sugar Bowl in 10 years, though. So Chambliss, I had no issue with what he said yesterday for the most part. Again, it's the era we're in. Look, you can be frustrated. I think there's two differences. You can be frustrated at him for not simply saying, "Hey, Ole Miss is home, and I'm going to be here next year." As a fan, that is a fully understood emotion. If you're just like, "God, like, come on," and you're frustrated.
Sure.
But given where we are, I don't think he deserves the same level of animus for what he said yesterday, if anybody has it. Because, number one, we don't know his waiver situation. He was asked yesterday what he believes here. He kind of feigned confidence, but admitted that he's just sort of hoping for the best, and we'll see what happens. He does expect to hear this week, and frankly, the NCAA needs to let him hear this week. We're getting really close to where he has to make a decision. It's going to be a negative duty on the NCAA if they do not tell him pretty soon. Which we used to have the clearinghouse back in the day. We're used to this, but that would be important for him to know. And then I thought that
decisions to make quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's not to go, if he's not granted a waiver, he needs to make decisions about what he wants to do in terms of where he wants to go train and all of those things.
Mm-hmm. And then here is quotes, and I'm gonna read the quotes, and then we're gonna go to break. We'll come back. So he said he was asked, if you get the waiver, is Ole Miss where you will be next year at that point? Something along those lines. And he said, I would have to consider like what is the best situation is for me, what I feel most comfortable with, who I trust the most, and just get a feel for every possibility, really. So just that. There is a lot that goes into that. And I think he started that with another couple words like, hey, definitely you hit the nail on the head. It's open, or I'd have to figure it out, or something like that.
He said you hit it on the nail. Yeah.
Okay. And then he was asked about John David Baker because, as we said, Golding had mentioned that Baker's main responsibility right now was about retention, and your quarterback's quite the start to that. So where does that stand? And then Chambliss said this regarding that. He said, I met with Baker when he got here on campus, and it was a great conversation, just trying to get to know each other. He was saying that the offense that he does is very similar to the one that we do here. So that was good. Good to hear. We were just talking like regular dudes trying to get to know each other. We'll probably get dinner, grab some food to further on that conversation. So marinate on that. That is what he said. And we'll come back in a minute and continue to talk about it. Before we do that, I'm going to tell you about the Jackson Graber Group with GMFS Mortgage. John Graber here locally in Oxford. Local trusted mortgage lender. Help all home buyers with first home, new construction, refinances. Got great condo situations, too, for you if you're refinancing or financing a condo. Those are a little trickier. John can help you out. Oxford High, Ole Miss alum, local in-house processing, underwriting, and servicing. They know the community, they know the area, and will take care of you. So buying a home, refinancing, or just questions, gmfsmortgage.com/JGG, 662-762-4502.
Arnett's Fine Jewelry is a fourth-generation jeweler. It's located on the old Lamons Jewelry Building, North Lamar Avenue in Oxford. They've got everything you could want for your Christmas gifting. If you're coming in this weekend, make that part of your weekend. Stop by. Maybe on Thursday or Friday. Stop by Arnett's, get your shopping finished up. They can handle any of your jewelry needs at Arnett's. They want to be your jeweler. We're brought to you by the College Corner. It's a stripe out game, red, navy. If you need red, navy gear, I think the temperature is like 71, dropping into the 40s. So maybe you need a polo or a quarter zip or a hoodie or whatever the case may be. They've got it all at College Corner, all the name brands you love. Nike, Horn Legend, Champion, Antigua, just to name a few. You can also go to collegecornerstore.com Brought to you by Kaiser Flooring. You can kick up the cozy in your home this season with new floors from Kaiser Flooring. The certified installers, they offer a wide range of options. They do incredible work. They, as you've probably heard me say by now, they completely redid our upstairs. All the kids' bedrooms, the landing, all that stuff. Communicated incredibly well, took great care of things. They were very conscientious. They were terrific. I can't recommend them highly enough. Oxford or Batesville, and then kaiserflooring.com. Another thing I can't recommend highly enough. I mean, I'm going to sit here tonight, probably turn it on. I'll be writing still. Knicks, Spurs. It's the NBA Cup championship. It's not really the game that I was hoping to see. So I'm just going to open a Coors. Just going to pop open a Coors and remember some recent history. Because Knicks didn't win the title last year. Neither did the Spurs. I mean, I remember the history back in June. The Thunder won the title. So I'm going to toast history with a Coors brewed with the same tradition since 1873. Not even 1873. 150-year-old recipe, Rocky Mountain water. When you're drinking a banquet, you are drinking history. We're also brought to you by Argent Wealth. When you work with Argent Wealth's 401k advisory services, you gain a valuable advisory team and time-saving resource that will help you develop and maintain a solid strategy for your retirement plan. They're committed to providing you with the personalized attention and involvement that you want and need. Their goal is to help you manage your 401k plan properly, ultimately improve your employees' retirement readiness. It's myargentwealth.com. And we're brought to you by John Edwards, Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. John's part of Virtuoso. It's a worldwide network of travel partners that allows him to supply his clients with added values, unique benefits, simply not available to other travelers. So get in touch with John. If you're planning a trip that you want to create a lifetime of unique memories, give him a budget. It's important. Give him some parameters, and then sit back. Let him give you options that you probably wouldn't find on your own. 901-494-3387 or jedwards@regencytravel.net.
Podcast brought to you by The Firm. Does your home and auto insurance keep going up? Let the folks at The Firm, proud Liberty Mutual and Safeco Insurance agency partner, take a look. Founded by Ole Miss alum Brian Hayden, they service the entire Southeastern Conference footprint. Their team of licensed professionals review your insurance needs and put together coverages that protect you and your family without breaking the bank. 662-236-1101 or just send them an email. staff@thefirmsouth.com. And podcast brought to you by Horn Legend, hornlegend.com. Great quarter zip, sports shirts, jackets for the men and the women. Take care of you with all your outerwear needs there with Horn Legend. As we said, got a new content item coming this week that is being presented by them. HornLegend.com. Click MPW Digital in the drop down. We would appreciate that. They take care of us. They'll take care of you as well. Again, HornLegend.com. So, Chambliss's comments. Where you at?
I mean, I have no issue with them. He's got a business decision to make. I mean, he's proven that he can play at this level. If he's given another year to play at this level, I think, in all likelihood, his earning potential is higher as a college player than it would be in the NFL, just because of size, I'm guessing. There's obviously a system in place that he's played in before that's inside the same league. And then there's a system with Judge that he's comfortable with, that he's played in. And he obviously is familiar with and comfortable with the area in a place where if he stayed, he would be a star. And then there's probably going to be other schools that get involved. And it's going to come down to money and fit and future and all of those things. And those are probably things that he can't fully address right now. And I get why fans are frustrated with that. 100%. I completely do. But I go back, I'm trying to be consistent. You have a team full of transfers. You can't celebrate their transferring to you and then persecute their transfer away from you. It's the same. It's what would happen if it's why I always go back to this statement, and I think I'm right, and I think it's what makes college sports so incredibly unique because of the level of love that people have for their alma mater or whatever. If you did this to professional sports, they would collapse. I firmly believe it.
And let's look at Chambliss a little bit here. It's a more complicated deal than Lacy because look, neither you nor I believe that Kevin Smith's going back at Ole Miss next year. I mean, I hadn't signed anything, so maybe something changes. But as of right now, that would surprise me.
I anticipate that he will be the running backs coach at LSU.
I do too. But I do think other teams have a possibility of buying him away from that. So either way, I do not believe he's in Oxford next season. I believe that Frank Wilson is all but done as Ole Miss's running backs coach. So I think Kevin's out. And I think Kewan Lacy is with him. Chambliss is more complicated on a couple different fronts. Number one, his answer was much more detailed, much more open to Ole Miss than Lacy's. Right or wrong, that's the interpretation to take from that. And two, LSU can't sign 7 quarterbacks. We know that Lane Kiffin is very interested in DJ Lagway.
Yep.
Maybe to the point of them being the odds-on favorite at this point to land a Florida quarterback out of the portal. We know that, sure, Chambliss came in behind Austin Simmons, but this ain't that reality. Chambliss about to get 7 figures somewhere to play quarterback. He's finished 8th for the Heisman Trophy. Yeah. So it can't be both. You can't have Lagway and Chambliss on your roster. And Ole Miss does get a chance with Baker here to prove his system, to prove things to Chambliss moving forward. I mean, look, human nature is if comfort and money are basically the same or whatnot, it sucks to move. Like, I'm not just writing Chambliss off yet. Like, I think that there's too many variables here to just automatically go, oh, Trinidad's headed to LSU, wah, wah, wah. Like, no, we're not there. I don't believe that to be the case right now.
No, I don't either. I think he answered it very thoughtfully and basically said, number one, I don't know that I'm going to have a decision to make. And number two, if I do, it's a decision that I have to think about. I've got to study it and decide what's best for me. Because, I mean,
people don't believe his waiver possibility is even 50%. He's going to have to get a little lucky here. There's not a lot of documentation regarding that 2021 injury.
He is going to have to channel his indoor TJ Finley and make this happen, where TJ Finley might get to play for his 9th school.
Finley is asking for a 7th year of eligibility right now. The Georgia State quarterback for 10 weeks.
Yeah, I guess he quarterbacked for about 10 weeks. I mean, a long tenure there in Atlanta.
Well, we had him on the roster. We were just a week early.
We were. It's a testament to the power of, I guess, alma mater and that kind of thing. I mean, that's what I believe, Chase. I could be wrong. I'm not sitting here saying I'm all knowing. I'm not at all. I kind of have a unique view from my perspective, and I really love the NBA. Love it. Probably love it right now more than I've ever loved it. And I've loved it since I was a kid. It's a lot of fun. But if you, in the middle of the playoffs, guys were all announcing their intention to leave their teams, I would lose interest probably overnight. Mm-hmm. If in the middle of the NFL playoffs, you knew that, hey, Bo Nix is leaving the Broncos as soon as the season's over. Just going to announce his free. You'd be like, okay, well, I'm less interested now. You know, I mean, one of the things that drew me into the NBA in the 80s as a kid was, you know, the Lakers and the Celtics and the Pistons coming on, and then you know, the Bulls, well, I guess when I was in my early 20s, you know, the Bulls having to fight their way past the Pistons and finally get to the NBA title, and those things, that's what drew me into sports. Other people might be very different. But in today's college football, you're as a fan, I think you have to just accept this is what it is, and you're cheering for the school and the uniform more than you're cheering for the individuals. You don't really know the individuals.
Mm-hmm. What's their criticism of Brian Kelly for not coming to work till like later in the day or something? You
Yeah, I
know,
think so. I think so, and that's why
I
Lane's.
saw Rabolet's tweet, and he's pandering, but
Yeah,
as much as anything. But he quote tweeted Lane saying, "Note the time of this post," because Lane had tweeted it like 5:38 in the morning.
I guess that was before yoga, or did he go to a 4:30 yoga class,
Or he just scheduled the tweet.
or he scheduled the tweet
I mean,
to try?
also, to put a picture of
What is a day
the
if you're not
facility doesn't
trolling?
mean he has to be in the facility too. Last time I
Yeah.
checked.
What's the start to a day if you don't troll on social media as a 50-year-old multimillionaire? I don't know. Deep questions. I mean, can you be happy if you don't announce your happiness? Can you have growth if you don't announce that growth? These are questions I can't answer. Does it count? Like if I go, like last night, I went for a really long walk, and I was able to record it with my ring. If I had not worn my ring, the walk would not count. Correct? It's kind of like that. If you don't announce your
I know what you're doing, and you're right. But I will tell you, my dependence on technology is to where sometimes when my watch won't do something, I'm like, well, should I even go? Should I even do it? Like if it's having a little bit of a malfunction for a minute. I do. I have a second where I'm like, you can't record it. I mean,
I know.
just saying.
Well, and that it's the same thing. I mean, if you don't announce to the world how happy and satisfied you are and what a great person you are you?
I know.
I mean, it's a fair question.
So you leave your phone on ring all the time?
I did not mean to leave it on ring.
No, I don't mean like during the show. I just mean in general throughout the day.
No, I usually don't have it on ring, but I've had it on ring here recently just because the kids have been traveling and sometimes
Okay.
they call at night. Caroline's in Paris, and so I'm a little paranoid about something. And if she were to call in the middle of the night, I would want to hear it ring, and I forgot to put it on silent. My fault.
Oh no, you're good. I will tell you back to Summerall for 1 minute, and then we'll go from there. He was very focused yesterday on just his team's process. I think he was concerned with Tulane being so caught up in the hoopla, maybe that's the word he even used, I don't know, around a college football playoff appearance, and that you get the new duds from Nike and you get this and you get that, and there's all these different things going on. And he was really stressing, I think, talking to his team through the media a little bit of, hey, it's still a football game. That at 2:30 they're going to kick off, and it's just like any other game, and you won't be thinking about it, all these other things in that regard. But it seemed to be something that was on his mind. It was not hard to understand that he gets the tall task that the Green Wave is under right now, and that simply playing better football is his goal. That sure wants to win and all that, but he just wants a good showing this week and then let it fall where it is. He was harping on that in a number of levels. They asked him regarding the $100,000 that they're giving to Tulane from an NIL standpoint. He and Jenny and their family, and he made a joke that, well, had they hired a schmuck or something, probably wouldn't have fallen through. But since they hired Will, it was fine. Knows him and wants the best for his success. But he did that thing where he was just talking individually, but if you're an Ole Miss fan, you probably were nodding a little bit as he was doing it. And I understand Tulane to Florida and Ole Miss to LSU are they're not even they're not apples to mangoes even. However,
No.
he was a little funny because he was like, well, you just how you leave a place is just as important as what you did while you were there. And I was like, oh God, just
Yep.
the arrow right in the solar plexus there as you're going. Ooh,
No, I mean, two thoughts. One, in fairness to Lane, he could not donate to Ole Miss's NIL.
no,
I mean,
God.
it's can't do it. Um,
Yeah.
and then, but secondly, he's right. I mean, the way you leave a place is it's your legacy. I mean, the Lane Kiffin story at Ole Miss when some distance has some water has passed under the bridge, it's complicated. I mean, it's really complicated. And right now, it's all about the way that he left. I mean, it's some people have brought up the Kevin Durant thing with me. There's a great debate in Oklahoma City. Durant's been gone for 9 years. The Thunder have won a title. They didn't win one with him. They've had 2 MVPs now since him, Russell Westbrook and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They're about to move into a new arena in 2028, and a lot of people are like, hey, that would be a perfect time to sort of bury the hatchet, retire his jersey, all-time NBA great. And then there are a lot of people, I'm told, including ownership, that are like, no. What precedent does that set? That you can lie to us and leave us high and dry, screw us, and then we're going to honor you? I think the Lane thing's kind of similar to that. I mean, are you honoring Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss ever? I'd guess not. I would think not. As a Thunder fan, when people say, do you want them to honor Kevin Durant? My answer is no. And someone will say, well, what about Westbrook? He left. Yeah, but he left differently. I was at a Nuggets Thunder game last year in March when Russell Westbrook came off the Nugget bench to play against the Thunder. He got a standing ovation on a Sunday afternoon. Everyone in the building for a long time, to the point of it almost being awkward. I mean, the way you leave a place matters. It's one of the reasons I was so upset at WNSP when they fired me. I thought that was unfair. I would have loved to have been able to, hey, you have to leave. Let me at least have a final show.
Well,
So,
because that's one of the things is, yeah, how you're remembered. I mean, that was one of Summerall's comments was, I want to be able to come back in 20 years with this team and celebrate it.
and he will,
Yeah.
because he's done it the right way. I mean, there's no easy way to do what he did. He's been transparent about when he's in Gainesville, when he came back. I mean,
And again, I get it. It's Group of Five SEC. It's so different in so many ways, but there is a middle ground. There's a lot of
yeah,
middle ground.
there's a lot of middle ground. Again, there was a place where Lane could have, and it would have required some sacrifice on his part, because I believe he really wanted to take the LSU job, and it would have meant not taking the LSU job. But there was a way that he could have said a lot of things for the betterment of his sport and his field, and what I think is done the right thing.
It just wasn't a priority.
It just wasn't. And he made a decision. And again, I mean, I think it's important to note, because some people have completely vilified him. He didn't do anything wrong, per se. I mean, he didn't break any rules. I think he did. I think there was a right thing to do, and he chose not to do it.
Yeah, he showed a lot of his own personal traits that had not changed at all. That's what he did.
Yeah.
All the different adjectives and things that you could put in there. So All right, we'll come back in 1 second. First, Chicory Market, chicorymarket.com. Supper Club for this weekend sold out, so appreciate everybody who is taking part in that. They have no more tickets, no more supper clubs currently scheduled with availability, but they do have Christmas catering. You need to pick up something for Christmas or New Year's. Those deadlines are the 19th and the 26th. We talked about that tart yesterday looked fantastic. Everything from that to beef tenderloins to turkeys, putting deposits down to gumbo to plenty of options there. Just go to the catering page on chicorymarket.com and you will see all the different options they have available, or just go stock up. Look, you're going to need groceries. You're going to feed people. You're cooking. Make it your grocery store of choice there on North Lamar in Oxford, Midtown Shopping Center. Again, that's chicorymarket.com.
You mentioned turkey. Is it? I have no idea why. I sort of want to do a turkey first part of next week just for the hell of it.
A turkey?
I do. I don't know why. I've caught myself wanting to like smoke a turkey on Monday.
Why?
I don't know.
Because you don't do that for Christmas.
No, we're doing beef for Christmas, but I kind of want to do. The girls come home Tuesday. I'm not working Monday. There's a part of me that just wants to smoke a turkey and sit on the patio.
I mean, you can.
Yeah, I know.
Gonna stop you.
No, I know. The only person that
you
would
can
stop
go
me
get a turkey.
It's just me going, this is stupid. Like, why am I doing this?
But you'd rather smoke a turkey than a ham?
It's a good question. Carson really likes ham.
Okay.
I watched this. I got an ad to read in a minute. I watched something on social media. A guy smoked the ham and then he chopped it, like chopped ham instead of like chopped beef or brisket or whatever. It was interesting. Chopped ham.
I watched a guy that basically showed you a homemade version of a honey baked ham that you could do for $30 instead of 90.
Oh.
Because you just buy the ham and then do the things and throw it on the Traeger or the smoker or whatever.
I've done that before. It was really good. Ham's not as good for you as turkey.
I'm a turkey person over a ham person. I know it makes me like flavor less, but I am.
No, I mean, I'm very tempted to Sunday brine a turkey and then throw that bad boy on a smoker sometime Monday and sit outside and drink some history.
You really just want to go outside and drink some history, and then there has to be a catalyst that allows for that to be the case. Like
there needs to be
it's more socially acceptable if there's something on the smoker for 6 hours while you're doing it.
It's probably.
I mean, I'm surprised Neil didn't go. I want to get up Monday and do a 23-hour brisket. That's kind of what I want to do.
Briskets are so frustrating because you put so much time into them, and half the time it's a total disaster. And then you finish it, and you're like, "Why did I do this?" And
there's not much more impressive than the restaurants that do perfect brisket every time, because you're like, you guys, you're scientists.
Yeah,
you're impressive.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
All right. Get the beautiful, healthy smile you deserve at Corinth Dental. Dr. Bubba McQueen, Dr. Jenny Beth Hendrick are devoted to restoring and enhancing the natural beauty of your smile using conservative, state-of-the-art procedures that will result in a beautiful, long-lasting smile. From routine checkups to advanced treatment, including implants and Invisalign, Corinth Dental is here to help you achieve your smile goals. Schedule your appointment today. Take the first step toward a better version of yourself. It's corinthdental.com. I'll have a mailbag to you tomorrow on Rebels 24/7. It's brought to you by Art Hayes, Sotheby's International Realty. Are you thinking of making a move? Put the power of Sotheby's to work for you. As a licensed agent with Sotheby's and a supporter of all things Ole Miss, Art can help you buy or sell in your hometown or anywhere in the world. No charge to you. Seriously. So call and ask Art how. 612-805-5929 or email art at arthur.hayes@lakesmn.com.
Podcast brought to you by G&M Pharmacy, 662-236-2222. They deliver locally in the Oxford area and offer medicine for your prescription same time each month. Take care of you. One trip to the pharmacy, one delivery, You have everything you need when you need it from G&M. So again, in Oxford, 662-236-2222. Somebody in our stream saying, is this Martha Stewart episode or Ole Miss? She must be new here. It's kind of what we do. This is not,
Well, just did an
yeah,
hour of this. I mean, come on.
yeah.
I mean,
Did you know the Seahawks are number 2 in the NFL in the power ranking this week, by the way?
yeah, their defense is elite.
11-3.
And when they play at home, man, you can't hear.
Would you shut up? Good God. Hate them always.
We just did an hour of
jackasses.
An hour of Ole Miss Tulane. And I have the audacity to just admit that I'm kind of interested in putting something on the smoker on. I've actually thought about buying a Traeger, Chase. I've talked myself out of it for about 6 months.
Cheater.
I know.
Cheater.
But then
you don't even get to brag about the meat being done. Like you take away the ability to even compliment yourself when you do it.
And when you do it right on the Big Green Egg, you're pretty proud of yourself.
Oh, you've been messing with the levers and stuff for hours. Oh no, you're getting stuff done. You're an engineer.
Yeah.
If you do the Traeger, it's like going and picking up catering and then bragging on yourself for your
What's
meal.
the weather forecast for Monday? Let's see. Saturday's like 70 degrees. Let's see what Monday is. I think Christmas is going to be warm. Monday, high of 60, low of 50, 50% chance of rain. Yeah. Christmas Day, high of 63. It's supposed to be cold on Christmas.
Oh, all you need is a light jacket. Maybe. Oh, Lane B says that doing a spatchcock chicken on a egg is a weekly thing for them.
Yeah. Nice weather in New Orleans when we're there, if we're there.
If.
Yeah, it's if. They got to win the game. I'm not going if they don't win the game. You might still go. You have reservations and stuff. I don't have reservations. I'm just finding a bar to sit at. We can do that here.
I invited you to dinner.
You did.
You can hear in his voice he's very worried about this. Like he that was not a that sounds awesome. Can't wait. It was a oh God, who's going? What's going on? Where are we going?
Be couples and stuff, or I'm going to be like just sitting there by myself, like at the child's table. I mean,
I told you I probably made a bunch of mistakes. Go ahead and booking all of it, but we'll see. Well, I don't know.
So you didn't.
I think Ole Miss wins this game by 2 touchdowns at least.
I do too. I think Ole Miss wins big. I asked if it's couples, and you didn't answer, which tells me it probably is.
No, everyone's welcome. It's a big tent.
Yeah.
You have no problem with the table for 17, right? You'll enjoy that. That sounds awesome.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I know.
I have to look at the Thunder schedule.
We're just still hoping we get a freaking room.
Well, if we don't, I know who to blame.
Speaking of Henry's guy.
Yeah.
Are you watching Friday night? Like, what's your sort of viewing schedule for this weekend? What are you interested in? Alabama, Oklahoma, and Miami A&M?
Yeah, I'm going to turn Alabama and Oklahoma on Friday night, and then I'm going to turn Thunder Wolves on TV2 and probably drink some history, watch some games, see what happens. I'm curious, Alabama, Oklahoma, sure. And then Saturday, I don't know whether we have to get there super early or not. I mean, I don't know.
Like super? What do you mean? More than usual?
I don't know if it's going to be a different security and all that stuff. I'm guessing not. I don't know. I don't really. I mean, I'm interested in Miami and A&M, and then obviously I'm covering Ole Miss and Tulane, and that late game. I'm not interested in it unless you tell me in the fourth quarter James Madison has a chance to win. if I'm being completely honest.
And then you're like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, sure. It's like the NCAA tournament when, Alabama State is playing Arizona. If you tell me 5 minutes left, it's a 1-point game, I'm turning it on. If you tell me it's a 28-point game, I'm completely disinterested.
I don't think the 16 seed's going to have a good shot against the Wildcats this season.
No.
Arizona pretty loaded right now.
Just they saying. Look a little salty.
Yeah, I don't know. Big 12's a good basketball league.
Yeah.
KenPom still has the SEC, the number one conference in the country.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if you're an SEC coach, you love you some KenPom right now. You hate you some net. Because a big damn, like Ole Miss is poster child. In the net, they're like 102, and in KenPom, they're 57.
53. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can get there from here if you're using KenPom. If you're using the net, you're like, oh God, what do we got to do? 13-5 in the league?
Obvious short term, but even long term too. God, this is a big game for Pete Golding, and you don't have to beat them 45-10. You just got to beat them. But God, you got to win the game.
You got to win the game, and you got to look like you're prepared. And and frankly, Chase, I'll be shocked if they don't do both of those things.
Yeah, me too. Somebody just said it first time in a while. The NFC is a lot better than the AFC. ESPN's power rankings. Rams 1. They're the favorites right now. They're 11-3 and very good. Seahawks 2. Denver at 3. Patriots at 4. Bills at 5. But then after that, Jags, Niners, Eagles, Packers, Bears. Before you get to another AFC team, Chargers at 11. Steelers won last night. They're actually winning the AFC North right now. I put it on the board. DK Metcalf with a hell of a catch and run for a go-ahead game, basically game-winning touchdown, sort of.
I ended up watching a lot of that game. I watched the Manning cast, and then I watched Nuggets Rockets. And the Manning cast was actually pretty funny yesterday. They had Laney Wilson on in the second quarter, and it was good.
Oh, interesting.
It was good. I enjoyed the Manning cast. And I think that was a game that had I watched the regular cast, I would have gotten bored super fast. I had Steelers in that game. Siski had Dolphins. I had a good week. I went 4-2 with my picks, hit my money line, hit the Falcons money line. I had a good week of picks. I'm hanging in there all the way to the end. I'm doing what I do in that competition, which is stay in it to the end and lose it on the last week. I don't get blown out, man. I just lose close games.
It's going to turn around. Just hang in there. You'll send Siski to a haunted house eventually. Real quick, kind of last couple things here. I'm reading through the power rankings, and I have not followed this much at all. I've been really kind of I've just been out on the NFL a little bit because college is taking so much time this season. But under the Commanders line, it's all about Tunzel. Says that he is their top extension candidate, now 10 years in the league. God, we're all getting old. Tunzel is in close to year 10. Says that Cliff Kingsbury said he knew Tunzel would, quote, be a dominant pass protector, but the run game stuff has been phenomenal. It'd be hard to find one that's played better at that position this season, so he's about to get a lot of money. That was the comment there from Cliff. So,
I mean, I've said it many times.
Color me shocked.
I watched Laramie Tunsil's first practice at Ole Miss and just said, well, that's what a multimillionaire left tackle looks like right there. You didn't have to be a football expert.
No. You saw everybody else, even the ones that had been pretty good at that position, and then looked at him and went, that's a different game. Okay. So that's what that guy looks like. Frankly, even over Robert and Laquan, like the top guys, period, in the class, where you're looking at them and going, yeah, really good. And now Robert was a freak out of high school.
Yeah.
I mean good Lord.
Robert was a great college player, but Laramie was just dominant.
Dude fell because he put a gas mask on in the draft. The GMs.
Hell of a night.
I got nothing.
I mean, it's a hell of a night. I wish I could have been hand raised guy in some of those rooms because I'd have been like, hey, so wait a minute. He smokes marijuana. Him and like 90 something percent of the other guys. Just take him. We'll figure it out.
There's never been a more disinterested Ole Miss baseball win over LSU that night because Ole Miss was beating LSU at Swayze, and the entire crowd is just staring at their cell phones the entire time. There's barely even cheering as the game is going on in front of them as that's all playing out that evening.
What a night.
Ole Miss basketball in Tupelo, I think, tomorrow night.
That is correct.
Is it Cadence Arena now? Is that right? Did I have that correct?
I probably makes sense. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Cadence Bank Arena in Tupelo.
Cadence Bank Arena. There you go.
Against the Alabama A&M Bulldogs, who have the same record as Ole Miss right now.
Oh, have they played the same teams?
No. First season for Dante Jackson, the head coach of Alabama A&M.
Okay.
Kermit's on the call from an analyst standpoint tomorrow night.
Yeah. Kermit and Jake doing the call.
Correct. Yeah. So, all right, let's see. What?
Kermit and Jake do a good job. They do that's a first rate broadcast.
Yeah. We have a media availability this afternoon. There's some practice viewing, and there are press conferences. Joe Judge and Brian Brown are the coaches that will be available, along with select players this afternoon. Again, more CFP kind of mandated stuff. So Tulane has a very similar thing going on today as well. Pete Golding back at the lectern tomorrow at noon, I believe. I think Summerall is like 110 or 120 tomorrow, or at least last time I saw the answer to that. So Rebels 24/7, tons of content. Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.